again, you've dialed up the Bros of the Brew. Jersey Joe here, Eye on the Box over there live from Las Vegas. Now, you know, if you watch the show enough, you know that we love baseball. We're big baseball fans. We travel together. We go around the country watching games together. Joel, you've been to many more parks than I have. So tonight, we're going to talk about who has the best baseball fans, who has the worst or most obnoxious. We had a lot of you chime in online. We have some really good answers. We want to invite you to join us live right now. Comment at the bottom of your screen or on Twitter. We'll share them live and talk about it. Joel, you've been to many more ballparks than I have around the country. So we'll start with you. Who do you think are the best fans and then the most worst obnoxious in the entire Major League Baseball? Majors.
Obnoxious, it's the Red Sox. No surprise there.
I do not disagree with that.
Me and Joe had an experience at Fenway Park that was pretty obnoxious, or, well, a couple of them, actually.
Yeah, we'll be sharing that story later on in this show.
Right, I'll let you do that part. I'll say Yankee fans are pretty obnoxious too, but in a better way. And also Dodger fans and Giant fans are pretty obnoxious. I've been to games at all the parks, multiple games. So I have quite a bit of experience with them. But as far as the best fans, you have to break that up into like so many different factors. What factors would you say I'd be rating the best fans on? Because
I would say like most passionate, care about the game, and also really enjoy their team in general. Like they're involved in the game. Like who do you think that would be? And we already had a live viewer write in saying the Yankees are the most obnoxious fan. Keep those coming, by the way, the live tweets.
Oh, they'll keep coming. They'll keep coming, I'm sure. Especially with our fan group,
yeah,
our target audience. But okay, so you said most passionate and most care about the game.
Yeah.
I will say. Passionate is there's a lot of teams that have passionate fans, especially ones that are out in the middle of nowhere. Not Florida. Nobody in Florida gives a shit about baseball at all. It could be the playoffs, it could be the World Series, and no one will be at the Marlins or the Rays. But as far as like passionate, you'll get mostly East Coast, Baltimore, Philly, Washington, New York, Boston, also St. Louis. Actually, I want to say this. St. Louis aren't just the most passionate, but they're also the most knowledgeable or among the most knowledgeable, and they're respectful. They're all of the above. So I will say the best fans in baseball are St. Louis Cardinal fans, even though I hate their team. They are definitely the best fans.
Very interesting. We have a live viewer chime in, Tanaka. So apparently we have another Yankees fan joining us. We appreciate that. I am going to give my opinion. It's a little different. Being from Western Pennsylvania, I'm actually going to say that I agree with you on the East Coast. I think East Coast fans are the most passionate. I also I agree with you that the fact that down in Florida, I mean, those are a lot of New York, people retire and they go down there and they're passionate fans, but they kind of gave up on the Marlins and the Rays. They're not there for that. They're actually watching the Yankees on Yes Network on their satellite. So here's the issue. The Yankees have the best fans, but they also have the worst fans. Yankees fans, when you're out in the bar, like last week here in the city, I was out several bars watching the playoff run, and it was an exciting electric atmosphere. You and I together last week in Vegas, when we were watching games together, we met all kinds of great Yankee fans that knew their stuff about baseball. But one thing New Yorkers also do, there's a lot of bandwagon fans here. All of a sudden, Yankees were doing good, and I saw Yankees gear everywhere. Look at you and I right now. We're dressed in our Yankee gear. Our boys lost. We're still representing, and you and I will be dressed like that all year long. We follow the team. But a lot of New York fans, they only jump on that bandwagon when they win. So that's sometimes a little disappointing. So they have the best and the worst. But I am going to say, based upon your experience and mine, Red Sox are the very worst fan base out there. What do you think?
Yeah, they're definitely the worst. They're not rational. They're subjective and stupid.
Yeah.
And angry stupid. And angry stupid is the worst combo.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, I find a lot of Red Sox fans, they don't know what the hell they're talking about either. They're another one that follow that team. They're bandwagon fans as well. I'm going to say a vast majority of them are too. They wear their gear only when the Red Sox are winning or they're playing against the Yankees. We're going to get to our Yankees-Red Sox story in just a moment, because let's take a couple live viewers now, because we've got a ton of you chime in right now. So let's get to our first one, and our first one is Vamos Yankees, and he says, oh, wait a minute, Joel, he's agreeing with us. Red Sox fans. Sure, I may be biased a Yankee fan, but who else in 2017 calls opposing players the N-word? That does happen up there a little too much. And that's probably, I'm going to say that's out of control in this day and age.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
I'll just say that when we were in Boston, I heard far more slurs than I've ever heard at a ballpark ever. And
yes.
Yeah, that's actually the end of my sentence. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was appalled. I mean, people were more saying that out in the open, yet you and I on another web show, we talked about swearing in the ballpark. That seemed to be okay in Boston, but you throw out that, N-word and, oh, it's no problem here. We're okay with that. Let's take a few more viewer comments. We have Bronx Bomber. She says, best of the Yankees, worst of the Orioles. And Grandy Fan says, San Francisco Giants are the best. Baltimore, New York, both New York teams are the worst. I do think San Francisco Giants fans, they're also pretty passionate about their team. They seem to really, really support their boys out there on the West Coast.
They do. They're very passionate. They're up there in the passionate category with Yankee fans. But they get into a lot of fights. I've been to a lot of Giants games in San Francisco, and they let their emotions get the best of them to the point where they get arrested regularly. When you guys heard that story about Brian Stowe getting his ass beat at Dodger Stadium or outside in the parking lot of Dodger Stadium as a Giants fan in enemy territory, I'll tell you this, it's way, way, way more common for Giants fans to gang up on people in San Francisco than it is for Dodger fans.
I would totally believe that. And Dodger fans, that's why they had to ban tailgating there too, because it got a little rough out there in their parking lot as well. And it's not exactly in the best neighborhood either. So that's a whole other issue in itself. Sometimes it also depends where the parks are located.
The Dodgers and the Angels both banned tailgating. It's weird, but they had to do it.
Yeah, I guess it's a rowdy California thing or West Coast thing, but you can pretty much tailgate here as much as you want, and especially as you've been to, I've been to Yankee games, just go across the street to local bars, and the fans have a great time together there, and it's a really great experience. And I am also going to say one other city that you and I have been to that has another great ballpark experience is Pittsburgh. Not only is the ballpark beautiful, but the fans in Pittsburgh generally rally together around all the teams, the Steelers, the Penguins, that aren't doing so well right now, the Pirates, they all go in together. And the big thing about Pittsburgh is, and the big joke is, when you take on Pittsburgh, you take on the whole city.
They rally together more than any other city. If you look, their colors are the same for all the teams. There's no other city that has the colors be the same for all of them. And by the way, the Pittsburgh bars right outside of PNC Park are just like Yankee Stadium. It's just like Yankee Stadium. There's a bunch of them, ton of fans, all just a really good atmosphere right outside the park.
Yeah, it's always a good time there. I'm going to throw in one other comment. I went to Nationals Park this year, and they have a really good fan experience also. They have the whole street closed off in front of the park, and they have like this big closed off area where you can go after the game, whether they win or lose, and drink and have fun. So they're very passionate about that too in that local area. Around the rest of DC, they didn't seem to care. But Philly, when I was there, I also felt that could get a little rough too at times. I mean, there were some fans out there exchanging some shit words in the parking lot. Maybe might not have been the most family friendly, but definitely not the N-word like they say in Boston.
Yeah. And Philly, and what sucks about Philly is it's not near the bars. All four big four sports arenas are right next to each other. So it's not a long string of bars. It's not like Fenway or Chicago or PNC or Yankee Stadium where you can just walk out, hop into a bar, and then you're talking. And it's probably designed that way because it's Philly.
Yeah, the only thing they do have at the Phillies ballpark across the street, they have that Xfinity Live place. It has a couple little bars in there, and I know Comcast goes live with like some Flyers games and before that, but that's really it. You're kind of literally in the middle of nowhere. You got to jump on SEPTA and go somewhere, so that's a little crazy. Let's take a few more viewer comments. We've got TV Promo Guy CD who says, the Mets have the best fans, of course. Want to ask me who are the worst? Lol. I think I already know what he's going to say because Vamos Yankees wrote him back and said, yeah, Mets fans are so good, Citi Field was a desert in September. He's right. The Mets fans, they are loyal. They're very loyal to that team. But this year, they jumped ship. They totally did.
Maybe they knew better than Terry Collins.
They should have given him a little prediction of the future. Let's go.
Hey, one thing. I got to say a couple shout-outs to all the NL Central teams. Shout out to Cincinnati for having the best ballpark lines. They have bathrooms and food everywhere. The Cubs have a really good atmosphere. Wrigley Field is a complete dump, and it sucks that it's cash only from rows 2 to 5. But the atmosphere outside the stadium is legendary. Shout out to the Brewers because they have the biggest parking lot and they put the most emphasis into the importance of tailgating. And shout out to the Cardinals for having the most passionate fans. They have that giant Fox Sports Bar out in left field. It's basically the only one near the park, but their fans are just so passionate.
It's definitely the fan experience is what makes it a great experience for all the fan involvement. Let's go to our final comment because Dennis has a final word today. He says, "Come on now, Joey. You know Yankees fans travel the entire country following the Yankees. Red Sox Nation." All right, Dennis is clearly a Yankee fan. We know that. But you and I, just like we talk about as Yankee fans, we do travel the nation, seeing our boys play in different ballparks. And I am going to think because the Yankees have the biggest fan base, they also have the most ability to travel as a fan base.
Not only that, but I think New York is in proximity to a lot of easy travel, especially on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And as far as the West Coast, there's still a lot of Yankee fans out here, but that's just because people grew up when they were 8 years old. The Yankees won the World Series and they became fans.
Yeah.
So because of their success, it may seem like Yankee fans travel even better than they do, but they're just playing everywhere.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And just like you said here in the East Coast, like I went to several games this year and I was able just to jump on a train and like an hour or two late, I was in another ballpark. Like it's really convenient. You and I went to Fenway, we were able to jump the train and went up there. And I think we should share our Fenway experience because it was you and I went there for the first time together. We had planned the trip for a year. It was awesome. We went. The Yankees lost the game in a heartbreaker. It was bad. They lost to the ninth.
It was a Hanley Ramirez walk-off home run game last year.
Yeah.
September 16th.
And don't you agree that the fans are really nice? And we were in our Yankee gear walking all through the city. The fans are nice until the Yankees lost, and then they turned on us.
Yeah, it was hard to get out of that park without somebody telling us something. Like everywhere we went, we just had somebody in our ear. The whole walk out, including outside waiting for the lift.
Yeah.
Like nonstop.
Nonstop.
And it wasn't playful. It was really, really mean shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was totally mean. So they were nice until the Yankees lost. And all of a sudden, it was like pretty well. I can't repeat what some of the things they were said on the show because it'll be taken down off of YouTube. But it was bad. So hide the kids.
Sour winners.
Have that experience.
Sour winners.
Sour winners. They are sour winners. But hey, we have they may be sour winners, but we have some awesome viewers. I want to thank you guys for joining us live on this web show. Hit that like or subscribe button. And don't miss Kicking Back Jersey Joe this Thursday because this week I have some funny Halloween costumes that are guaranteed to help you win the office costume contest. They're ones you can buy online real easy. No, I don't get money for them, but I hope you do and you win. That's Thursday at noon on Kicking Back Jersey Joe on the big YouTube channel. Hope you enjoy. And Joel, remember what my Halloween costume was last year? Do you remember?
It was It was definitely a Yankee. I don't remember.
Yeah, there was Brett Gardner, and I won $50 for dressing up as Brett. So hey, the Yankees may have lost this year, but I walked away a winner last year. And yes, I will be.
You look like the retired Brett Gardner. So
I know. Hey, I'm still gonna try it again this year. I pretty much have all the gear now. I just gotta put the pants on, which I actually own the authentic pants. But hey, I want to thank our live viewers. Appreciate you for joining us. I know they're in the box. We'll see you next time, I hope.